Hi everyone, I'm Kel Grace and I'm here to show you a really easy updo called a 3 braided chignon using Milbon products. We are going to create 3 braids in the back to create a really wide textured updo and Milbon products to create the grip and the hold. To start, I'm going to use some dry texturizing spray from Milbon. And I like to put this in her hair before I start the updo to create that grip we need. I've already prepped her hair with a 1-inch curling iron quickly to create some bend. And then we're going to spray this in all throughout. This is such a nice product because it doesn't make it too sticky or too chalky feeling. Just enough grip to start the updo as we're working.
To start, we are going to part her hair on the side, just like that, and then we are going to create 3 sections in the back as even as possible. So we have 1 right here, 2 and 3. These are just soft parts. As you notice, they're not very hard parts with a comb. You don't want to see the part directly on the scalp. We're going to start with our first braid in our first section. This is the first braid of the 3 braided chignon. We're going to start with really tight tension, as you can see here. I'm going as tight as I can against the base so that there is no sagging of the hair at the nape, as you can see. And as I braid down, I'm going to now loosen up my tension into medium tension. Just like that. We don't have to go all the way down, because I am now going to roll it underneath, so it's not needed to braid all the way down. Roll all the way up until you hit the nape. Pull it apart with your 4 fingers and thumbs. Grip it, and then you're going to hold it with your non-dominant hand. I am right hand dominant, so my left hand is my non-dominant hand. I'm going to take bobby pins and I'm going to slide them in kind of directly onto the scalp and then aim towards the center. Just like that. I'm going to use these long pins. They're about 2 3/4 inch in length, almost 3 inches. And I'm going to slide them in, just a couple around just to hold it into place. Just like that. Don't worry about how this is going to look, because at first it might be like, oh, you want to pull it apart more, you want it to look better, but this is just our base styling. We're going to detail it at the end. And now we're going to move on to our second braid of the 3 braided chignon. Divide this into 3 sections, and you're going to do the exact same thing you did as the first braided chignon. I'm now going to add to this braid some Stronghold hairspray number 7 because it adds even more grip. If you're struggling with the hair falling out through your fingers or anything like that, this hairspray is great to work with. We're going to spray it over the hair just like that, just a little bit. Now we are going to work on our second braid. We're going to do the same thing as we did with the first braid. We're going to start with tight tension to get it nice and tight towards that nape, and do that for a few sections, about 3 to 4, and then we're going to switch into medium tension. Once we hit the bottom, roll it up towards the nape. You're going to use your thumbs and forefingers and pull it apart gently, and you're going to combine it just like that, overlap it with the first chignon and pin it into place. I keep my bobby pins closed. As you can see, you want to let the bobby pin hold as much hair that can fit in that little opening, and then once it slides in, it will do the job for you. Now we're going to move on to our third section. And don't worry about how it all looks, because we are going to go back at the end and really open up this updo. Grab all this hair, and what you're going to do is divide it into 3, even the hair from the side, from by the ear there. You're going to take all that into the section and tight tension. And as you work your way down, you're going to switch into medium. So it's the same thing on repeat. And remember, this is your base. The detailing part after we create a base is when the updo all comes together. Pull that apart and combine it with the chignon next to it and pin it into place, just like that. It takes a few bobby pins. The more you get used to pinning like this and using anchor pins, the less you will use. Now we are going to pull apart and widen the section of these chignons with our thumbs and fingers, just like that. Don't be scared. It seems scary at first, but this is detailing. You already have your base in, and we will re-secure everything once we start pulling this apart. So just keep pulling apart and keep pulling apart and pin as you go. Just like that. If you like where something looks and how it fits, pin it into place, and you're just going to open up this whole updo. Have fun with this. It is actually really fun and very different each time you do it. It always comes out a little bit different on each client, and also depending on their hair texture and thickness or fullness in their hair. So just like that, keep placing where you see fit. Now we are going to go back to the dry texture spray in this front section here that we left out in the beginning. We are going to create horizontal parts, and we're going to spray this dry texture spray at the root to mid shaft, just like that. Now we're going to create an inverted braid, which is a French braid, basically just adding hair from underneath instead of on top. And it's going to be slightly elevated, which is also a little bit looser than a normal inverted braid. And as you can see, it's a bit off scalp. I don't want it to be too tight, so this is medium tension, because I am going to pull this apart afterward to create more of a pancake wider braid effect. So elevate it off the head just a little and do medium tension, so that way you can pull it apart when it is finished. So we are going to keep going down. You can leave a couple little tendrils out, softness around the face. Those can be curled later or left a little bit straighter. Tendrils nowadays are becoming a lot more soft and less curly. They used to be more of a tight curl years ago. Now they're definitely more of a softer wave and very soft around the face. Braid this all the way down just like that. And now we're going to gently pull out, fan out these sections of the braid. See how I'm just gently fanning it out? Be very careful not to do it too hard, just a little bit like that. And you see how it's starting to get a lot wider. It's a really, really fun technique. And a lot of clients love these braids added in their hair. So braid it all the way down, or pull it apart all the way down, just like that, to your desired effect there. Pull that apart. Her hair is medium thickness, not too thick and not too thin. And if a client has thinner hair, or even hair like this model here, but wants a fuller braid, you can always add a clip-in extension, a 1-inch clip-in extension, and into that braid to add more fullness. Okay, I'm going to add a bobby pin in to secure it into place, just like that. Okay, now I'm going to add a pin over the end of this and create a loop for the end of that braid, and I'm just going to add it into this braided chignon area to look like it's part of that chignon section, just like that, and loop in that other section. So as you can see, we're getting a wide textured style with an added braid. It is so fun and easy, and this is great for any type of event, whether it's a bride, someone for homecoming, someone for prom, a night out, going to a work or a holiday event. It can really be used for any type of event. Now I'm going to add these hair accessories into the hair just to add a little more of a formal style. So I'm just going to place them right above the chignons as all the way across, and it gives a lot more of a finish to this hairstyle. You can find these online or any stores or your local suppliers. Just like that, adds such a nice finish touch. And here's the final look using Milbon products. I hope you learned a lot and can use this technique. As you can see, it has a beautiful finished chignon in the back with a braid on top.